It's time to begin to work with a DJ who needs to have a certain identity to feel safe. And being able to have this identity brings your mind, brings DJ a sense of approval. If it can hold on to this identity, if it can manage to always be this certain thing, then it will receive the approval of its designated judges. In this audio, we're going to be looking at who are your designated judges. Who have you put on the judges panel of your life? Meaning, who in your life do you care? Who does it matter to you what they think? Who do you feel is looking at you from the outside and is either approving of you or disapproving of you? Who in your life do you feel has the power to threaten this label that you need? Who in your life do you feel you need to keep this label in order to keep them in your life? So I want you to really just sit, close your eyes, and I want us to go together to the trash room. Whatever your trash room looks like, mine has about 5 or 6 trash cans in it. I have no idea why I would need that many, but I guess I do. And in the trash room, we know that we put expectations, we put assumptions, we put all of our ideas of how other people should behave. And today we're looking at how we think we should behave in order to please other people, or to keep this judges panel approving of us, accepting of us. And behind this need of approval, this need to have a certain identity or a certain role in our life, to be judged as a success, to be judged as good, to be judged as a good person, this is what we're throwing away today. Because behind that is a need of approval, and then underneath that, deeper down in the box, is a DJ that is afraid of loss, afraid of rejection. It can also be afraid of guilt and shame, because if it does not meet up to the judge's standards, then it can be seen as guilty or shameful. And guess who assigned people the judge in your life? You did. You decided who are your judges. And these are usually people who you look up to, you think a lot of them. Maybe they even hold a lot of the qualities that you admire, or maybe they hold a lot of the qualities that your parents would admire, or your parents would have said, "Oh, they're a success at this," or "They're a success at that." And maybe that identity of successful is something that you really want to be, or maybe they would have been seen by other people as good. They're a good person, they're a kind person, they're a pleasing person. Or maybe you saw your parents judge others, maybe who were argumentative or spoke their mind, as people who caused conflict and caused trouble, and they were troublemakers, so therefore they weren't accepted. So we get all these ideas from watching who is accepted and who is not accepted, who is judged in a positive light and who is judged in a negative light. And all this judgment comes from a DJ. Someone's DJ decided how everyone else should behave and how the world should be. And that's not how it was supposed to work, but because our DJs became dysfunctional, that's what happened. And so we grew up watching the other DJs and seeing what was acceptable and what wasn't. And the truth is that if we were all living from our heart, there would be no judgment. Everyone would be free to just be who and what they are, no matter what that behavior is. Whether they make $1 million or $2, it really wouldn't matter. There would be no labels given. There would be no identities of good or bad, rich or poor, all of the, the duality that's out there that lives in that conditioned place that the mind operates from. That would be non-existent. So what I want to do today is to help you come away from that world. That's exhausting. That limits you from just waking up each day and getting to follow your heart and not worry about what my neighbor's going to think, what my mom's going to think, what my dad's going to think, what my brothers and sisters are going to think, what my boss is going to think if I make this decision based off of what my heart is leading me to, what my heart is guiding me to. Who's going to laugh at me? Who's going to say I'm silly or ridiculous? So I want you to live a life free from the fear of that, of needing to please this judges panel to be able to sleep well at night without that fear. I want all of that. I want to separate you from that and just bring you into a space where you can make your decisions without any worry of what anyone else thinks or doesn't think, if they approve of you or don't approve of you. That you can step into that power for yourself and just be you. Just be the truth of you and allow truth to express through you without you suppressing that, without you running from that, to let truth speak through you without you being afraid of it speaking through you because of the fear of judgment from your judges panel. So you're standing there in your trash room and you're thinking about the people on your judges panel, and I want you to see them in front of you. They're all there in the trash room. And I want you to just see, there's usually about 3 or 4, 5 people. And there may be one judge that really sticks out to you. This person, you want them to love you so much. You want them to accept you and approve of you. You loved them maybe, and you thought the world of them. They could do no wrong. This could be a parent. It could be a boss. It could be just someone that you looked up to growing up. And there they are. And you, only you, have made them the judge of your world, which means they hold the key to your prison. You gave it to them. You built the prison out of needing to be a certain way or holding on to a certain identity. And you gave them the key and said, you're the only one who can free me, meaning you're the only one that can make me feel good depending on your reaction to me. If you judge me as acceptable, if you approve of me, then I get to get out for the day and I get to feel good about myself, as long as I can maintain whatever it is I think that you want to see in me, whatever behavior I think you want me to do. And I gave you this power. And actually, I didn't give it to your heart, I gave it to your DJ. Because if I'd given it to your heart, you wouldn't have cared how I acted. It would have been unconditional love and acceptance. I wouldn't be trying for approval right now. But I gave this power, this key to your DJ, to a dysfunctional part of you that I've allowed to control my life, that I've allowed to decide what I do, what I don't do, out of fear that you wouldn't love me. When now I'm seeing that we don't have to earn fear. We don't have to earn love. We don't have to deserve love. We don't have to do certain behaviors to get love. Not from the true part of you, not from the heart part of you. We don't have to work to please your heart, only your DJ. I don't want another DJ in charge of when I get to feel good. I really don't. I've seen my own mind. I've seen my own DJ, and I can see how crazy that it can be how limiting it can be, how insane it can be in some of its thoughts and some of its decisions. Why would I want someone else's DJ to control what I get to do, who I get to be, if I get to feel good that day? Why would I give another insane, dysfunctional mind that power over me? I don't know, but I did. I didn't know any other way until now. I want you to walk over to that person, and I want you to tell that person's heart, I wish I could have seen more of you, that part of you that I knew loved me no matter what I did. But I didn't. I saw a lot of your mind. I interacted a lot with your mind, and that put me in this fear prison. And I gave you the key. And whatever you thought of me that day determined whether I felt good. And I don't want that anymore. I'm taking that key back, and I'm giving it to my own heart who knows the truth, who wants to express through me, who doesn't want to be limited or bound up in this prison of having to act a certain way, behave a certain way in order to hold on to this identity. I don't want this identity anymore, if that's what it means. With every label, every identity comes a set of behaviors. And as soon as you do any behavior that steps outside of that identity and what it says you can do to hold on to it, then you feel either fear of loss, rejection, guilt, or shame. And I don't want that. I don't want any boundaries anymore. I don't want to be in prison anymore. I've lived my whole life that way. I want to be free to wake up and allow my heart to move through me, to express through me, to say what it needs to say through me, out of love always, not out of fear. I trust my heart to be kind and compassionate to other people. I trust my heart to do the right thing, to say the right thing. But I have been suppressing it because I've allowed this DJ to lock me up in this label, in this prison, where I had to only have these behaviors and I couldn't go outside of that. And my heart has been held inside this prison, in this box, and not been able to truly express. And I'm learning now that that's where true joy comes from the freedom to express, for the freedom of my heart to express through me. I'm walking over to that person now, and I'm saying, I love you unconditionally. Thank you for being in my life. But you are no longer the judge over me. You no longer hold the power of whether I feel good that day. You don't get to decide that for me. You don't get to decide if I'm good enough or not. You don't get to decide if my behavior is pleasing or not. You don't get to decide that. My heart does. And I want you to take that key away from that judge. And I want you to hold it close to your heart. And I want you to look back at that prison that you've been standing in because you've been holding on to that identity, that label, and all the behaviors that go with it. And I want you to say goodbye. I want you to close that prison cell door and say, I'll never stand inside of you again. I'll never be limited by the need to be this label or this identity ever again. I'm going to be free to allow my heart to express through me. My heart always approves of me, and I approve of my heart, and that's all that matters. And I want you to look at your other judges on your panel, and I want you to go through the same process. Go to each one and say, I gave you way too much power. I gave a part of you that judges and criticizes power over me, and that was silly. But I was young, I was a kid, I didn't know any better, but now I do. And now I'm helping my DJ take that power back. It doesn't need to be judged. It doesn't need to be controlled. It only needs to be able to be itself. And to step into its truth, it has to be free to allow the heart to express through it. And now that is happening for me. I can feel that happening for me more and more each and every day. I'm releasing all of these locks, all of the locks on the doors in my Tidy Mind house. I'm unlocking every door. I'm opening every door. I'm opening every window. I'm letting fresh air of unconditional love flow all through my house, flow all through me. I'm letting love express through me, true love, the true expression of love through my heart. No more fear. No more fear keeping those doors locked. And I'm definitely not giving the power to another person to hold the key to those locked doors. I decide. I decide. My heart decides. From now, moving forward into the future, my heart holds the key. And with this key, there is no lock. There is no boundary, only freedom.